Hi, Joe Scacciaferro, back here again on location. Today's guest, I know I always say I really enjoy, I'm a special guest and I'm really excited. This guy I'm really excited about. Where he's found himself is in such a magnificent, unique place, and he's taken our skills, our production skills, and really using it for an amazing, amazing challenge and great opportunity. So I'm going to stop because you really got to hear from Ian. So Ian Foss, welcome.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for sharing some time with us. So I want to jump right in because there's so many things I want to cover with you. But the first thing is kind of explain exactly where, not physically where you are, because that in itself is very unique. But just tell me where you are in your current position and what your challenges, what your responsibilities are.
Well, Joe, I am the Director of Media Arts and Production at a nonprofit theater based in Ridgefield, Connecticut called the Prospector Theater. And what we do is we employ and educate adults with disabilities through the operation of a premium 4-screen first-run movie theater. And we have a lot of unique vocational and job training programs that happen here, which is why I'm here. I'm a video guy by trade. Part of what we do at the theater is we insource all of our marketing needs, all of our video needs. Anything that you see that has a media presence from the theater actually comes from our team, Prospect Productions.
That, first off, I want everybody to know he didn't read that off a prompter. That's truly, that came from the heart. Now, so, and as we get through this, so in full disclosure, I have a daughter with special needs, and people like yourself, and importantly, the Prospector Theater and that whole opportunity is just mind-blowing for me. It's such a great, great, great service that you're doing. And you're doing it at such a high level and a pro level. It's not, this isn't something where they're just watching you guys do the work. You actually have them doing the work. But I'm not going to get into that right at this second. First, what were you doing prior to Prospector, and how did that evolution or how did that opportunity present itself?
Oh gosh, I was in college and working kind of the freelance scene before I had ever come up here. You know, doing I think what anybody does when they're fresh in the media field, shooting weddings, just trying to get any gig that they can. I actually started working here on the floor. I was popping popcorn. I'm a movie guy at heart, so the chance to work at a theater is obviously great, and then as you can see behind me, to work in a theater this beautiful was spectacular. My mom has her master's in teaching the blind, and I've had a background with working with her in special needs programs through school, volunteering my time for that, and it kind of really meshed to be the best of both worlds that was here. And so, took my love for media and passion and really tried to transform it into something that we can grow and a program that we can have at the theater to employ, educate, and create as much gainful employment as we can.
When you first came on board, was there the program that you've developed, was that in place, or was that something you evolved, or it evolved with you evolving it? Does that make any sense?
It was in place. We had some, media here, things that, that was going on. We really strive to always create our own content. I've been here since 2015, so kind of being able to be a part of that and really to help it grow has been incredible on, my behalf. But it's always been here. It's always been a core part of the mission. That's, hey, let's take these really cool, unique jobs. There's a lot of really artistic, talented prospects that work at our theater, and let's put cameras in their hand. Let's make cool stuff.
That's awesome. It just, every time I hear about it, which is often, it just blows my mind. It's just so cool. So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into some of the responsibilities and some of the opportunities that you're actually doing, because it's not just, again, I keep going back to, it's not just that you're showing the community, the prospectors, how to do stuff. You're working, it's an actually evolved production company that does a lot of stuff. So I want to focus on equipment first, because we all know the equipment in today's world is complex. It has a lot of menuing depths. There's a lot to what we do. As a lot of times it looks simple, but there's audio, there's lighting, there's video, the cameras, all these things, and you're using professional gear. So first, you have to learn. I know these are ridiculously long questions. You have to learn the equipment, and then you have to teach the equipment, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in, I was very blessed with the college experience that I have. I'm a very hands-on guy. I think a lot of us in the industry are. And so, once you know the concepts of operating a camera and understanding practically what you're doing, you can really apply that to any base. But yeah, we use all different kinds of equipment here just to give you kind of the layout of how we get to training and experience. I mean, everybody in this theater, there's 103 of us prospects that are here employed by the theater, which is crazy for a 4-screen movie theater. And that's why we have programs like the production department to make sure that there's meaningful work for everybody that is here. But we start off with anybody who's had an interest. They can come in to use the iPhone that's in their pocket or iPads that we have downstairs. I like to call them our mobile production studio. And it's a great introduction into understanding exposure, understanding lighting, working on framing, and then it's a great introduction to NLEs, editing programs. Stuff like iMovie is incredible for being great training wheels to kind of point you in the right direction. And from there, once people kind of evolve, we'll start using DSLRs, we'll start using mirrorless cameras, we'll start integrating that into what we're doing, and really work onto there until we have a red camera at the theater. We have a red Mysterium. We currently, right now, I'm shooting on a FX9, and there's probably 20 or so members of my team that can use through anything that you put in their hand. It's understanding conceptually. Of course, there's a learning curve whenever a new piece of equipment comes in.
With all of us.
It's putting in, it's understanding those concepts to be able to create content that not only matches but rivals the movies that we have up on the screen.
I can't believe you end it with that statement. That's your bar, is feature film. So let me go back a little bit into what you were just saying. So you're not just teaching point and shoot. You're actually teaching. You're probably teaching more than a lot of the people that come across my desk. No, because they don't know the depth of. They don't know why they do things. They just do it and it works. And that becomes their function. So you take it one step further, and God bless you for doing that.
Yeah, we teach it all here. I mean, it's the beautiful, beautiful thing about this industry is there is a job for everybody for what your passion is. I mean, as everyone knows, from pre-production to post-production, the standard and the amount of jobs that are involved in there is incredible. So we'll find a place for everybody's interest. So whether it be in front of the camera, whether it be behind it, whether it's on lighting, sound, audio, music design, anything, we do it here. And like you said, we learn as we go along. It's like I like to think of myself as a teacher, but more often than not, I'm learning as we go. And like that's one of the great experiences of being part of the Prospect production team is I love it when one of my guys or gals comes in and says, like, oh, I want to learn how to animate today, or I want to make some digital effects, things that are way outside of my realm. And it's just like, okay, well, let's go do it. And then we sit down together, we start doing the research, we start trying some things out, and we use the education platform to create excellence. And that's really what we're all about.
Yeah, those are big things. I'm sitting here just in awe. I mean, I want to come work up there. To have those freedoms and to do that. Now, let's talk about the actual deliverables. But before I do that, you mentioned music. So, is it original created music, or are you using, like we would use, tracks that get edited under like a sweetening bed or something? Just go into the music side and the sound side.
Yeah, so we actually record original tracks here as well. We have a couple different music programs that fall under the envelope of production. We record with the Prospect Band, who are great members. We talk about exploring passions and turning them into professions. They have 2 studio albums out that we have helped with recording them. You can find on iTunes, Spotify. Go check them out, Prospect Band. But we work with them weekly on recording and doing that. But they create original compositions. I mean, they are brilliant musicians. My friend Rachel is probably the only person I've ever met in my life who can just hear a tune and instantly replicate it. And she plays the double organ and keyboard. So they're a really groovy bunch. And we also have, as part of our music production team, we create kind of synth tracks, and we have a rap group here which is called Bars and Beats. So we explore a lot of interests, a lot of passions, and it all comes back into the envelope of the mission. Anything we do here is part of album sales. It's part of generating revenue and income. It's part of outsourcing or saving money. I mean, that's a big thing about our department is everyone, I think, knows how expensive like marketing agencies, how expensive hiring freelance production teams can be. So by training and by doing that, we are actually making sense and reinvesting in our mission.
That's it's so mad. And I just want to say, we're not going to get into depth here, but I want everybody to understand this isn't just production. I mean, this is a thriving, large theater that has a wide scope of opportunities, and then it goes beyond the theater. So I want to encourage everybody to go check out Prospector Theater. What's the exact site that they would go to try to get more information?
If you want to check us out or learn more information, go to www.prospectortheater.org or come and visit us if you're, tri-state, New York, local area, even across town. Come out and take a trip. It's worth it. But we are located at 25 Prospect Street in Ridgefield, Connecticut, or you can, again, visit our website or socials at www.prospectortheater.org.
Yeah, and just so you know, and most of my audience understands this, we don't even promote Faro City, but I'm going to promote this. I'm going to say this is an opportunity for our audience to go and just see. It's an amazing place. Okay, so let's get back to your specific. What are some of the actual deliverables that you guys produce in totality of what you're using them for?
So we, like I said earlier, we generate all of our own marketing strategies, anything in-house. So anything that you actually see that's put to media that has Prospector's name on it, whether it be footage used in news stories, whether it's any of the promotional pieces on our website, whether it's anything that you see on our screens with the exception of the movies themselves, it's all generated in-house by our production team. Additionally, we have done freelance contracts in the past, but recently, we've been taking a different direction, in the new digital age, and I think with everything that's happened in these last few years, we are currently working on a new strategy, building a new site that we are calling Sparkle Vision, and it's going to be a streaming platform that is, directed and generating content television shows for people who are in the disability community, for whether it be through entertainment or teaching life skills. And I shouldn't say just for the disability community, because there's a lot of great, meaningful stuff that's for everybody. For anybody who's going out and living on their own the first time, we have a great cooking show, which is going to be cheap, easy recipes for people who may not have picked up a pan before, and to try to get them into the kitchen and cooking up like Chef Ramsay. We're also generating some entertainment television. We have a talk show and creating some docuseries that are going to give different looks into different communities and kind of insider's perspective on things. So we're very, very excited about that. And, as we speak, we're working on generating content for that.
That's awesome. And I'm going to say this publicly, whatever the Faro City community can help with, you have 100% of our support, and anything. I don't even know what it would be right now. But everything you're saying is what the Faro City community is about, and so I'm gonna offer the entire community, even those who don't know they're being offered, because this is such a great cause, and I just think the opportunity is amazing. And have some of your trained people, once they've come to a point, is it like a regular gig that the rest of us do, that we move on? that there is there an opportunity outside of Prospector? Even if they stay, can they freelance? Is that something you strive to do?
Oh, absolutely. We've always said traditionally that Prospector Theater is a great second job. We've pivoted a little from that. We want to keep a lot of gainful employment here because it does help generate the mission, and really, it really helps us grow as an organization. But we have a lot of very talented prospects. Joe, I know you know a couple that work with some other very talented individuals who are in the industry, and they can take a lot of skills to offset hours within freelance, to work other gigs, and to continue chasing what they're passionate about. There's a few examples that I know offhand, but it really is an amazing thing to be a part of, and it's an absolute joy for me. It's one of the coolest jobs I've had, certainly, and it's been awesome to watch this place grow.
That's so great. That's so great. God bless you guys. I mean, it's wonderful. I'm not signing off. It's just I get so emotional when I hear you speak, and I just know the whole heart behind this. Creatively, you personally, let's talk about you. And I know my daughter when Val was first born, and obviously her entire life, and I've met a lot of Val's peers, and I've been deeply involved in that community. It actually changed the way I perceived the world, but more importantly, it changed my creative soul, because I learned so many more nuances. I can't really express the change. But let me ask you, have you evolved creatively from working there, from being involved in their community?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that I'm challenged creatively every day. This industry is ever changing, and it's constantly learning new trades, new tricks, anything to keep on the edge of the curve technically. But I think creatively, like, I've really grown in my process of really kind of throwing out. I think that traditionally the industry has been pretty unkind to some people with disabilities, and I don't mean that in kind of an insulting sense, but with creating accommodations and creating different ways of approaching things, anybody's talent is really, really well explored. And if the right accommodations are made, like for myself, I didn't know how to write proper call sheets. I'm not great with pre-production, but adapting, exploring, and creating new ways for myself has allowed me to kind of do that, and to do that in my own way, something that may not be very standard for the industry, things that I struggled before. So I think creatively I've definitely evolved as a person. Besides, I mean, having a camera in your hand every day and being a part of this community has really allowed me to improve technically and to create, just work with amazing equipment, and to grow with myself with what, the 19-year-old me used to dream of with that. So I think, creatively, I've definitely grown a ton as an individual working here.
Yeah. That's funny. You just nailed my next question. Is because what I was going to say, professionally, not many of us have the opportunity every day to be working on hands-on working on a diversity of equipment, and then hands-on be working on a diversity of projects. And sometimes you end up being on the high end, above the line management side of it, and you're kind of distant from your projects, or you're hired as a frontline person on one project, and you're doing one aspect of that. But what you're doing is the perfect blend. It's kind of what we all thought about when we came out of school or started our careers, that we thought we'd be doing. But it isn't how the industry's structured, other than your industry.
Yeah, it's it's amazing to be a part of some of the stuff that I've been a part of, and it has really been, because that's what's fulfilling to me is like you said, I think a lot of us come out and wanting to be very hands-on every day, and I there's so many projects going on. There's so much that we're working on here. I think everyone's got a different hat and everything. And it goes back to the point of before we were talking about there's so many different jobs in this industry. And it's wonderful in a setting like this and working with education. And at the end of the day, we have to produce. We have to hit these deadlines. It's for the good of our organization. And we all have an opportunity to wear a lot of different hats, to try out many different things, and to have a lot of different hands in different roles.
That last part you just said, try out different things. So again, that's not unique in our industry. Very rarely are you on projects or you're in an opportunity where you have freedom to try things. You know, you're pretty much locked in because of budgets, because of deadlines, because of, you know, the overlords that drive certain parts of our business. You don't have choices. You have to, this is the path we're going, and now we're going to go do that. It's amazing. It's amazing that you have that freedom. I hope you appreciate the unique opportunity you're living in the middle of.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm so grateful for it every single day, because I think, like, you know, that's the way that I myself am programmed. So many prospects are programmed of, you know, there's been, with so many individuals here, there's been so many trials and tribulations to get to this point, or barriers of access of even having opportunities to try this out. So I recognize that I'm so blessed, and I'm so happy to see how fulfilled everyone else is by having opportunities, and how, you know, trying something new puts a smile on my face, and so many members of our team, it will put a smile on their face too.
Okay, I want to close this with, because I'm sure everybody who's watching is trying to get a handle on, well, what exactly is this? I don't get what they're talking about. They understand the nuances, and you and I know the big picture. So why don't you talk a little bit about Prospector Theater and the larger envision? Like, what goes on? What does the theater look like? Because it's very different than going to AMC.
Yeah, how much time you got? So the Prospector Theater is a 501c3 nonprofit based in the heart of downtown Ridgefield. We are a 4-screen, first-run movie theater, and what that means is we have the latest and greatest content coming from the industry. We use that as an employment platform to employ adults with disabilities in ways that you would expect in a movie theater. So we have our box office, concessions, clean team, ushers, any way that goes through there. But when you peel back a layer on the surface and you look, we are so much about gainful employment that we have essentially created as much meaningful streams of revenue as we can. We're constantly growing. We have a very fluid model of exploring so many different kinds of industries under the umbrella of what the Prospector is. And the great news about a movie theater is it does create so many jobs that we can create, it does create so many jobs that we can gainfully employ people in. So we have everything here from, the production team we've been talking about to our team that we like to call the outsiders, landscaping, any passion that people have, we encourage to explore within the foundation, and we'll find a way to have it become a core part of our mission.
You have a restaurant?
We do. We have a cafe, cafe, restaurant, bar downstairs. We have, a 167-seat theater, 104-seat theater, a 67-seat theater upstairs, and a 16-seater downstairs, that's kind of my favorite. It's like going to private screenings when you're in movies down there.
Yeah. And you also hold events. It's not just, and you use your theater as a gathering place for outsiders, right?
We do, yeah. We have event rental spaces. We run birthday parties, whether they be public or private. We do hosting, so there's an entire, banquet or event department that is involved with that. There's so many avenues that you see from there directly. We have the Prospect Band, which we had discussed a little earlier. We have our Bars and Beats rap group. We have so many different opportunities through exploring different types of employment, through our ushers on the floor, through, so many different roles that is happening here, is all parts of, the cog that keeps this giant machine going.
One of the things that's my favorite that you guys told me about was at times you do a little show like a live theater show on the floor pre-movie, correct?
Yeah, every showtime that you come into, there is an usher speech that goes on, and for some special events, it becomes a little more than that, depending on what the movie is or what the event is. But every show that is coming to, it's part of what we like to call Pink Glove Service, and Pink Glove Service is just the best thing about going to a movie theater is always going to be the experience. So we make sure that anybody coming in is having the greatest experience that they can, and we call that Pink Glove Service. So you will have the friendliest group of faces to the most high quality, high class service from the moment that you step in the door until you are leaving your theater. I mean, when you come in, it's going to be smiling faces at box office and somebody to lead you there. When you come to the concession stand to promote community engagement, we keep our soda fountains behind the concession stand. So it's another stage of interaction with our prospects, and it's another way to have a friendly greeting. To ushers bringing you to your seats with an actual seating chart. And with Pink Glove Service, we want to make sure that every customer who comes in, every patron, gets the best possible experience.
I'm going to ask you one question. So, but you also do movie trailers. I've seen, right? You've done your own trailers.
Yeah, yes, we have.
It's incredible. The whole thing is incredible. Let's talk for a moment, and then I'm running out of time here. Let's talk for a moment about the future. There's some expansion opportunities outside of the theater. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can talk as much as I know, Joe. Or we can't give away all the trade secrets, but
exactly.
we have explored with Sparkle Vision coming up. We're constantly growing as an organization, and we're looking at different avenues to expand and to keep growing our mission. Like we said, anybody's passion that is here, we want to look forward to the future. One of the biggest developments as part of expansion is we just launched a new popcorn service that you'll be able to experience our amazing homemade gourmet popcorn. Like back to that kitchen we were talking about earlier, they create, my favorite is Belgian chocolate toffee, but they create homemade popcorn right here in the theater that is all sorts of different sensational flavors. Belgian chocolate toffee is, toffee, 2 kinds of chocolate, caramel. It's very decadent. You can check that out at prospectorpopcorn.org. And what that is just an ordering service to bring popcorn right to your house, made by prospects for like the experience that can take home.
Yeah, and it's delicious. I have not gone there yet without walking home with a couple of bags myself. And now that I can just order them, it's crazy. I know this sounds like some kind of infomercial and I'm a shill, but I'm not. I really, truly believe in it, and I love the product. Got to wrap this up. What I'd like to make sure everybody checks out is the founder. She's an amazing, amazing person herself. You should really get the backstory. I don't want to get into it. It's maybe we'll get Val on one of these days. She's a character into herself, but it's her mind and her vision and her passion that has exploded through all the people that you're ever going to come in contact with. And the whole thing is just, it's surreal. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. And again, as a parent, I have a special passion and a special love for this. But as a production person, it's amazing. And just as a general citizen, I don't know what I'd be outside of that. It's amazing. Go check it out, please. I got to keep stammering because I'm gushing over all of this. Ian, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for the insights. And keep it going. Anything you need from us, we're there for you guys.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thank you.